High-end devices are more powerful than ever, better screens, more memory. Nokia's new high-end phones, they didn't even announce these as phones. They called them wireless computers. Mid-range phones now have many of the capabilities. You know, think about PCs and notebooks. High-end to mid-end to low-end. Same thing's happening here. High-end to mid to low, and it's going to continue. Low-end phones are becoming less expensive. In India now, you can buy a phone for less than $30. In other parts of the world, under $50. And, you know, there used to be, people used to say, oh, a GSM phone costs less than a CDMA phone. There's virtually no difference in the phone costs anymore today. That's all gone away. Many phones can be used as broadband wireless modems using Bluetooth or by plugging in a USB cable. And world phones are becoming more available. So this Sprint and Verizon are both selling this 8830. It is a CDMA EVDO phone, and it is also a GSM edge phone, and you can put a SIM in it and use it in Europe. The only issue is I tried it. I tried putting my UST mobile SIM in it, and it won't work. So they have it fixed so you can't use it on 2 US networks, although I'm sure somebody can figure out how to do that. But it's designed so that if I'm on Sprint or Verizon and I have a BlackBerry and I want to travel, I can buy a SIM in Europe or rent a SIM in Europe, and I can have a world phone and take it with me. And it's a very, very nice device. Now, let's talk about the iPhone. How many of you own iPhones? Okay. Well, the user interface certainly raises the bar, there's no doubt. It's a nice user interface. But it's difficult for developers to build applications now. They just announced, once again, Steve Jobs reversing himself, that they have a software developers kit coming, so that'll take care of that. The Apple business model is unique and favors the hardware vendor. Not so much. It's partly unique. It's unique in the fact that Apple gets most of the profit on the phone. It's not unique in that AT&T shares revenue with Apple because RIM, the BlackBerry people, have been collecting revenue share on the email portion of the BlackBerry forever. So that's not a new model in and of itself. Long-term impact, it's going to change the relationship between device vendors and network operators. There's no doubt about it. It raises customer expectations for device ease of use. It is easy to use, and it could help networks end device buy-down policies because there is no buy-in. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this price because AT&T just announced today that all their long-term contracts are going to go away and no penalties for early withdrawal. So it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. It's getting to be a really interesting world for sure. So they claim to have sold 1 million phones. They announced the iPod Touch. If I were AT&T, I'd be a little pissed off about this. It's the same user interface, and it has Wi-Fi but no wide area wireless. You know, it's like, okay, I got my phone already. Now I got my iTouch. What do I need anything else? They dropped the price from $5.99 to $3.99 within 6 weeks. That's an awful lot of money to drop the price. There are, you know, you can have arguments about why that price, whether that was smart or whether that was done to move Apple products or whatever all day long, and nobody knows except Steve Jobs probably. Apple and AT&T have a 5-year exclusive. AT&T cannot sell through their indirect channel. Now that's a mistake because most wireless operators sell more phones through their indirect channel than they do their store channel. And that's true for AT&T also. So that was a mistake, I think, but we'll see what happens. The iPhone has been hacked to run on other networks, and now you see, I docked mine the other day and it said it wanted to upload or download a new download, and I understand that that download is meant to, if your phone's been hacked, meant to turn it into a brick. iPhone is not a business or a corporate phone. Now, in spite of the fact that Apple's employees all use it for a business phone, and it does some things like a business phone, okay? It has secure email. It can work with Exchange, and it can do some of those things, but there's no over-the-air calendar and PIM synchronization. It's only when you dock it. There's no support really for Outlook Mail. The keyboard's difficult for people to use, and it doesn't pass my one-handed test, which says I'm pulling my suitcase and I'm trying to make a call and check my email. I can't make it do that. There are a lot of other issues with it. So let's look at today's phones. Verizon, 850 and 1900 megahertz, Bluetooth radio, CDMA 1X and EVDO, GPS built into every handset, and a 700 megahertz receiver for VCast or MediaFlow mobile TV in some models. Let's look at an AT&T phone. AT&T is announcing MediaFlow mobile TV. 800 and 1900 megahertz radio, 700 megahertz receiver, GSM and UMTS, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi in some models, GPS in most models going forward. To make this a world phone, they have to add 900, 1800, 2100. By the way, there has to be a different antenna or a different antenna configuration, different radio for each one of these. Now, let's add 700 megahertz, and now we have radios for 7, 850, 19, and AWS, 4 bands, 700 megahertz receiver, again, CDMA, EVDO, and LTE, GPS, Bluetooth, USB Wireless 2.0, which Barney will talk about maybe, and Wi-Fi. Now for a world phone, we have to add UMTS, GSM, and 3 more bands. You know, engineers are really good at building a lot of stuff on chips, but at some point you'd think they would get overloaded. AT&T has a similar situation, and if you add all that, that's a lot of radios. That's a lot of technologies, that's a lot of antennas, and it's a lot of stuff to cram in a very small box, but they're doing it fairly efficiently. So device trends, wireless penetration, today in the United States about 80%. Some other parts of the world it's already over 100. I think it's going to go to 300% in 10 years. Why? Because I think we're all going to have multiple devices with embedded chips. I've already seen a dog collar that has GPS and it's on the Verizon network, so I can track my dog. Pricing model may shift to per person. I think that's going to happen. Phones will become our command and control device just the way we use a remote control for our TV. We'll be able to use it to control our homes, our entertainment devices, our financial life. Banking is huge now, wireless banking. It'll become our payment device, whether it's by proximity RF or some other method, and our location will be known and services we need for that location will be provided if we opt in to do that. That's not a privacy issue. We will have to opt in to do that, I think. 2 types of diverse devices will emerge. Computers that are wirelessly enabled, as in an iPhone, and wireless devices that have the power of a computer, as in a BlackBerry or a Q phone today.